Good evening and a very, very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us on this very special Anzac Day edition of DinamoTV, the official podcast of the St Albans Dinamo Football Club. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you here tonight. My name is Tonchi Prusats, and boy, what a show have we got lined up. It's our 15th episode this year, our first season of DinamoTV, and we've got an absolute corker of a show lined up for you tonight. Who are some of the guests? Well, we'll talk about some of the guests. We're going to be catching up with all three of the senior coaches, the senior men's coach, Paul Donnelly, the under-23s, Adam Tenanini, and also the women's senior coach, Tom Pondelyak. Their season kicked off over the weekend, just gone by. We've got the senior men's and the senior women's players of the week to be announced as well. And wait for it, the big one. We'll also be starting a new series this week, kicking off with a real legend and aptly named. It's Dinamo's Living Legends. Over the next few months, we'll be interviewing a whole range of club legends, living legends. We're going to get to know some of these people that have become part of the furniture that are iconic at Churchill Reserve. Tonight's guest, and what a way to kick it off, one of the co-founders of Dinamo 49 years ago, Jozo Jovic. It was in his house in St Albans that Dinamo St Albans Soccer Club was founded, and we will hear all about that, everything that happened back in those days. That alone is worth hanging around for tonight. Folks, we'd love to have your involvement in tonight's show in the chat section. Pop us questions, queries, comments in the chat section. We'd love to have you around. All right, folks, without further ado, we got to get straight into the news desk because there's a lot to get around. But before we do that, here's a word from our major sponsor.
The I&D Group is regarded as one of the largest deliverers of concrete structure solutions in Victoria. Formed in 1994 by Ivan and Kathy Filipovic, their passion and commitment to getting the job done safely and economically has underpinned their success in the industry. I&D partners with large-scale building and construction companies in both the private and public sectors on projects large and small. With our corporate headquarters based in South Melbourne and storage yard based in the southeast suburbs, we have at our disposal thousands of square metres of quality materials along with state-of-the-art lifting and crane equipment, enabling us to deliver the largest projects. We are committed to delivering high-quality projects by partnering with our clients and collaborating with project suppliers to ensure each job is delivered to exceed expectations. From humble beginnings, I&D now employs more than 1,200 dedicated professional and support staff, involved in a number of landmark projects right across Victoria. The I&D Group is a massive supporter of the Croatian community, backed soccer clubs in Victoria, and is proud to be the major sponsor of the St Albans Dinamo Football Club in 2024.
Welcome back to DinamoTV, and it indeed is time now for the news desk. Well, on the weekend, we were so unlucky coming up against the might of Oakley Cannons in round 10 of the National Premier League men's competition. And unfortunately, we went down 3-2 with 2 late goals, and geez, they were absolute pearl of goals. Here are the highlights from last Friday's encounter at Jack Edwards Reserve. If nothing else, it's worth watching this for Ivan Razumic's pearler of a goal in the second goal, which was then the goal to take the lead. Incredible stuff.
Let's get that play moving quickly.
And Swinger beaten away by the fists of Bullich. Guest whips one in low, but it's easily dealt with. And away comes Josh Diven. Diven looks for a teammate and won't find one. Boyce for Wellsmore. Ricabene brings it down.
It's also, and Josh Diven brings the scores level on the brink of half-time.
Well, the Oakley Cannons have been sleepwalking towards the break, and they're punished. Dinamo have barely had a sniff for the first 40 minutes of this game. And then Josh Diven suddenly on the end of two glorious chances, the first a side of which ends. So major implications for the relegation battle. Looks like it's going to be Moreland City's 10th defeat in a row. And even if the result goes against Dinamo tonight, they'll still be 7 points clear of the relegation spot.
Well, if this result stays, Josh, they'll be, at the moment, 8 points, and they could potentially be on here. It's a chance for Razumich! That is brilliant from Ivan Razumich! And St Albans have taken the lead at Jack Edwards Reserve.
This defender's on toast in this league, but not this evening. Kasumovic, desperate for a goal. Strikes it, Kasumovic! Opens his Oakley account when the Cannons needed him most. Stop from the Dinamo goalkeeper. How long can they keep them out? Here comes Kasumovic. Checking inside Sovereign. Asad Kasumovic! Oh my goodness! What a way to announce yourself in MPL Victoria. Ivan Razumich with the header on. And again. Cholina wide. Needs to get it in the box. Looping delivery. Summerskill on the goalkeeper. And the whistle goes against the Englishman. And that is full time. And it's heartbreak for Dinamo.
With senior coach Paul Donnelly. Paul, disappointing game against Oakley to lose 3-2, given the effort that the boys put in.
Yeah, huge effort from the lads. Be up 2-1 and had them on the ropes for a little bit there. Not a lot of teams do that at Oakley on a Friday night, so that was very pleasing. But we couldn't hold on. Lost 3-2, nearly snatched the draw in the end, but didn't. So we just have to keep working and get better.
So no issues with the performance. So how do we get the 3 points this week against Danny Thunder?
We just pretty much hard work and working on a few more things. We're trying to work on getting the ball forward, getting it into good areas, getting runs into good areas. So we'll just keep working on that.
And you're enjoying the role? 2 weeks in now, I think it is, or 2.5 weeks in?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, no, it's been good. Yeah, the boys have responded really well, I believe. The energy's good in the changing room, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Well, good luck for this week. Hopefully 3 points on the road.
Nice work, Keith.
Well, judging by last week's performance, the fortunes are going to change very, very quickly. And maybe that'll happen as early as this week in round 11 when Dinamo travels to George Andrews Reserve to take on Dandenong Thunder. This could be a really ripper game. 3 o'clock kickoff, early kickoff. And if we remember last year, the corresponding fixture, geez, what a game that was, wasn't it? 4-3. Had lots of goals, lots of excitement. Hopefully, it's going to be the same case this time. But as long as it is in our favour this time, not the other teams. Let's turn our attention now to the under-23s. Look, the under-23s in the curtain raiser, unfortunately, lost 3-1. Nicholas Murray scoring the only goal of that game. He's already scored 7 goals now in the reserves in the under-23s. After the game, Ian Burke caught up with Adam Tenanini, and this is what Tuna had to say.
Here we are with 23's coach Adam Tenanini. Tuna, difficult night tonight against Oakley.
Yeah, it was, Berkey. We went in with a really young squad. We topped up with a lot of 18s players and gave a lot of the players that have occupied the bench in the first 8-9 rounds an opportunity to start, and it was good to get some minutes in the legs. And we're going toe to toe with Oakley, who are traditionally one of the better teams in the league, up until the 70th minute, and they sort of ran over the top a little bit coming into the game. We conceded some goals off some individual areas, which was disappointing, the most disappointing part. Because the game was there for the taking for a good part of it.
Had some chances second half there. Nick Murray did score one, but also had a couple of other chances. I think post as well.
Yeah, he was getting himself in good positions. Nick, like he always does. He hit the post once. One just went shy of the post. Then got a goal from a corner. And I think that was probably the most disappointing part of the night. Actually, our attacking set pieces. We just couldn't get purchase on anything. The delivery was good and was hitting the spot where we know it's going to hit with our set pieces. We just couldn't get our runs right and get anything on the end of it. So, and Oakley, to their credit, we're more hungry for that ball inside their penalty box. And
on to another away trip this week at Dandy Thunder, who were coming off the back of a heavy loss.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier though. Thunder's always a tough away trip. We'll see what team we can put out on Saturday, and we'll look forward to another game and another opportunity for the young boys.
Well, good luck for the weekend.
Thank you, Berkey.
So the 23s there, the 23s coach Adam Tenanini and Ian Burke, the assistant coach. Now, before we do move on to the senior women's, the senior men's, as far as the senior men's, once again, for the second time this year, our goalkeeper Marko Bulic has made it through to the, how good is that? He's made it through to the team of the week, the NPL Victoria team of the week. So congratulations to Marko. He made it through to that accolade, that acknowledgement, I guess. That's great to hear. All right, let's move along now to the senior women's team. Now, last Friday night there at Churchill Reserve, our women came up against Greenvale United in the opening game of the State League 2 Northwest competition, and our girls did very well in the end, running out 6-0 winners. This despite being reduced to 10 players, Emily Grgic getting a red card, I think it was towards the end of the first half. Nonetheless, the girls just ramped it up, and Abby Pavlinušić scored a brace, as did Sienna Delia. Eva Chichak and Maya Panic scored a goal apiece. So well done to the girls, doing a ripper job there. And this week they will be up against Geelong Rangers. So they make the trip up to Myers Reserve in Bellpost Hill, where they'll be coming up against the Geelong Rangers. After last Friday night's game, our cameras caught up with senior women's coach Tom Pondeljak. This is what he had to say.
Tommy, round one, Greenvale United, big win. How do you think you went?
Yeah, look, I think the girls done really well. Obviously, first game of the season, it's always a little bit nervy, but I think the girls had a few nerves before the game. But all in all, they put in a really solid performance. Like I've said to them, I didn't think they were at their best, but they weren't far off. But yeah, first game of the season, you're not sure where you're going to get. Greenvale, we obviously know from last year, they were a decent side, but first round, you obviously you don't know what's going to come along. But they've done well. We played second half basically with 10 men. Unfortunately, Emily got sent off within the first sort of minute and a half. But the girls never lost stride. You almost couldn't tell the difference. They actually done really well tonight. So really pleased for them. I think they're got a lot of confidence in them at the moment. We've had a really good pre-season, and it took us into the first round tonight. And I really can't fault anyone. Obviously, there's things we need to work on, but we'll do that in due course. But it's put us on a good platform going forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think if I'm right, last year was 1 win and 1 draw against Greenvale, so a 6-0 win round one is fantastic. Well done to you and the girls. Secondly, round two, so we've got Geelong Rangers away. How do you feel we'll go with them?
Yeah, look, Geelong we don't know too much about. I think they've come down from State 1, so look, we're expecting a tough game. I think all the games this year are going to be quite tough. I think the teams are quite even across the board. Like I said, we don't know too much about Geelong, but we'll take whatever's in front of us. We've got to take every game on its merits, and we'll be going out with the same mentality what we did this week and what we have through the pre-season. And yeah, like you mentioned, obviously 6 goals in the first round. You really can't ask for more. Keeping a clean sheet and having multiple goal scorers is a really positive sign. I think the girls are doing really well at the moment, and we'll take that momentum into Geelong this week, and we'll see where it takes us. We'll put in our best effort, and I'm sure the girls will as well, and hopefully we can come back with the 3 points from Geelong.
Once again, congratulations, well done. Good luck for next week, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
There we have it, the senior women's team celebrating, and rightfully so. 6-0 win. There hasn't been too much to celebrate this year with the senior sides, but the women are certainly starting off on the best way forward. And the best thing about that, folks, there were kids there present in the dressing room afterwards, and no swearing. Gents, please take note. Well done to everyone associated with the senior women's team. Let's make it 2 from 2 when they take on Geelong Rangers. And as Tom Pondelak did say, they did get relegated from last year, but knowing a little bit about what happens in Geelong, the Geelong Rangers coach told me they have only got 3 players left from their team last year, so it's a whole new team. So they did get hammered in the first game, so it's up to the girls now to make it 2 from 2. We had lots happening over the last week or so. Last Thursday night, I believe, we had a where's my notes? Huge night at St Albans Dinamo with the Mini Roos presentation that was held last week. It was a phenomenal night. We had huge. It was a packed house, as you can see there. The young athletes were honoured with their brand new jerseys, and it was a moment of pride for players, coaches, and families alike, marking the beginning of an exciting season ahead. The junior committee would like to thank everyone who joined us and made the night unforgettable. Let's continue to support and cheer on our juniors as they represent St Albans Dinamo Football Club. So well done to everyone there. During the week, in fact, last Thursday, we found out that Dinamo had become one of the very, very few football clubs in Australia to achieve a Football Australia 2-star club changer accreditation. Now, that is fantastic news. There's a letter there on the right-hand side from Grace Lambourne, the National Program Manager, Club Development at Football Australia. And she said she congratulated our club on demonstrating commitment and dedication to the development of safeguarding in the football community. Dinamo Vice President John Bilosh came out and said he was extremely happy with the news that our club has achieved what few clubs in Australia have up until now. John said, the club committee is super excited and proud to share this significant achievement facilitated by Football Victoria and Football Australia. This partnership will be essential for us to set new standards in excellence and community involvement in sport. Now, the Club Changer, Football Australia's club development program, aims to protect and enhance football clubs in Australia to make them stronger and more resilient, to lead them in building welcoming and inclusive cultures, and to educate them on positive environments for players, coaches, volunteers and officials, whilst planning for long-term viability and success. That's right. Well, there'll be a little bit more said about this in future editions, and we're also hoping to get a very, very big guest over the next week or two to do with the Club Changer program. On another note, with regards to the Australian-Croatian community tournament that was held, this was now sent out earlier this week, and as you can read there, the below summary of details were sent to member club representatives pending a vote on Friday, 3rd of May. Okay, so Over the past few months, Dinamo Football Club, Football Group and Tournament Committee have been working with the CSAA board on providing an exceptional Croatian soccer tournament. Unfortunately, initial planning has set the tournament expenditure 30% higher than the $700,000 that was originally forecast. So it's saying that it could cost in excess of $1 million to run the tournament. That's a massive, isn't it? A huge expense. On the same weekend, there will be a major shortfall in volunteer and support staff on the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, as basically that weekend, one of our major sponsors has a huge event. The I&D Group are celebrating their 30th anniversary gala night on the Saturday night of the tournament, and that is going to have an effect. So this has been sent out to all the clubs, and we're awaiting a extraordinary general meeting on May the 3rd. And that pretty much brings us to the end of our news desk. When we return, we'll meet the team. That's the this week's meet the team, the boys under 10s Kangas Minuroos. Hang around for a couple of ad breaks, and then we'll be back with the Meet the Team segment for this week.
Bray.
Oh, how are you, Bray, mate? What position do you play at Dinamondo?
Actually 3 positions.
Oh, play 3 positions.
Centre back, right wing, striker.
Oh, very good. Utility lot, Dave. Really, very good. How long have you been at Dinamondo?
Well, I started in 2022.
2022, very good. You're a veteran now. You're playing Georgians. You come on, do you reckon you'll be playing up front, in the middle, or at the back? Do you reckon we'll win today?
If we try our best, work hard.
Very good. Good luck for the rest of the season, buddy. What's your name, champion?
Connor.
Connor. Oh, what under do you play? What team are you in? Under
10 Kangas.
Who's your coach?
Kuna.
Kuna normal? Who yells at you? Normal or Kuna?
None.
None, they're both good. How long have you been at Dinamo?
First year.
Oh, first year. Very good. What position do you usually play?
Midfield and winger.
Today's the first game of the season, playing against George Cross. How do you reckon you'll go?
I reckon good and we'll win.
Very good, mate. Good luck for the season, mate. All the best. How are you, champion? What's your name? What number is on your back? What number do you wear? Oh, 12. What position do you play? Centre back. Itching to get on. Can't wait. First game of the season. It's a nice day. No rain. Could be wet on the ground. How have you been at Dinamo for a while? At the same time as Ray? Very good. How do you reckon you'll go this season? Reckon we'll go close to winning the league, or if you do your best? Very good. Good luck for the season, champion. Good luck for today.
Well, now it's that time of week when we do announce who the NPL Senior Men's Player of the Week is, and let's see who is the winner this week. Well, welcome to DinamoTV. Oh, welcome back to DinamoTV, Ivo Razumic. Ivo, well, congratulations. After winning last week's award, you're now the first senior men's player to win it twice this year, so congratulations back to back.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, mate, let's talk about, and we've got a little bit of highlights there as well from the weekend just gone by. Oakley Cannons, mate, what a heart-stopping game this was, and we'll get to your own individual performance surely, including that fantastic goal. But do tell us, how did you see how did you see it from your perspective, this game?
Oh, well, I feel like the first probably about, say, 20 minutes of the game, Oakley were pretty dominant, but I feel that we got into the swing of things and very unlucky to get away, for them to get away with a win on that note. Yeah, plenty of chances to seal the deal and take over, or even get a point away from them. But yeah, it's one of those games.
Yeah, well, we just missed Josh Diven's goal. Unfortunately, NPL Victoria highlights missed that first goal. But the second goal was an absolute pearler. And we'll see that very, very shortly. In fact, it's here. And take us through this whole passage of play.
Well, it was just after half-time. We come out, pretty sure we had kick-off. Coming onto the park where balls got knocked through. And then I said it's broken down, made a run forward. Joey just slipped me the ball through and seemed to keep come off his line. And I thought, just why not? Might as well just try it, see how it goes. And then it just come off, and I was in slow motion. I was hoping the ball went in, and after I said it went in, it was a big relief on that one.
Yeah. And the jubilation at that point in time. I mean, you're 2-1 up. You've got them rattled. You really, really had them rattled. You must have been feeling on top of the world after everything that's happened the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, to be up, especially that quickly after a restart, straight after half time, and the equaliser was just before half time. All of us were on a confidence high at that point. We were really confident, and it was showing, especially in the second half. The chances we created, the play and everything, the way the players and everyone was linking up and all that, it was a good sight to see. It was very unlucky that we let it slip, but yeah, it was definitely one of those moments where it was like, wow, we're up here and let's hold on to this. Let's take this to the end. So let's give it a good fight.
Yeah, and it was a shame that but those two goals by Oakley in the last 20 minutes, my goodness me, they were absolute pile drivers. But we had some chances as well. You almost had another spectacular effort. I think Joey had a couple of chances, or one chance in particular. So even though I guess we lost 3-2, to lose to Oakley at Jack Edwards Reserve, and to produce that many chances, particularly late in the game, it must give you guys a lot of confidence going into this weekend's game, huh?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a confidence booster, especially against. It's very hard to beat Oakley at Jack Edwards. It's one of those games of the season where you don't really look forward to it because they do really play well over at their ground. It's a great surface, good players and all that, and yeah, to see that we were very unlucky to come away with a draw, let alone a win. It was one of those games where you can really take it into our stride for this week coming up, and yeah, hopefully it's a big turnaround for the rest of the season.
Well, there's the results there. Kasumovic scoring in the 72nd and 82nd minute, Divan 45th, and yourself in the 46th minute. But there's also the fixture for this week, Saturday afternoon, I should say, 3 p.m. kickoff. Dandenong Thunder against St Albans, and that's at George Andrews Reserve. Now, the corresponding game last year, I think, was an absolute pearler of a game. I think it was like 4-3, goal for goal. So we can expect no doubt fireworks again this week. But yeah, how do you think we'll go against Dandenong Thunder on Saturday?
Oh, I feel the way we've trained this week, especially coming off the game last week, we can really take it to them. The confidence is building throughout all the boys in the team, and we can see it in training. The vibe is up, especially with around the boys and all that. So hopefully we put up a good fight, stick to our guns, and really take it to them. And yeah, that game last year, sadly I missed that one due to injury, but yeah, it was a game to watch. It was one of a very good game to watch.
Yeah, it was indeed. Well, hopefully it's going to be just as good a game. And on this occasion, hopefully the scoreline favours us and not the Thunder. Mate, all the very, very best for us Saturday. Big game against Thunder. And once again, congratulations on winning the Player of the Week for the second time this season. Okay, and now it's time to announce who our round one senior women's player of the week is, and it's a great pleasure to welcome to DinamoTV Maya Parnich. Congratulations, Maya! Well done.
Thank you.
Now, for round one, what a start to the season it was. 6-0 over Greenvale. We've got a photo here of the team, I think, just before the game, and there it is. And how good is that? Under lights, Churchill Reserve. Geez, it looks fantastic. And we've got an even better photo there. But 6-0. Tell us about the game.
Oh, the game was really good. I think the first game of the season, we all worked really, really hard as a team. We all put in a great shift, especially playing 10 men at half time, like a minute going into second half with Emily getting a red card. We played really well. We got our shape right, ball calm, moved the ball around really good. And yeah, we got rewarded 3 points, which is really good.
Yeah, we'll just pop there's the scores there. Chichak 1 goal, Delia 2 goals, Pavlinušić 2 goals, and yourself as well got a goal. So well done. This week though, it's Geelong Rangers on the road down to my neck of the woods. Actually, I'm hoping to get out there on Sunday up at Myers Reserve. Geelong Rangers, they really struggled in their first game, but I think they got hammered 6-1 or something like that off the top of my head. But look, you can't look into the results after just one round. But what are you expecting from this game? Do you know much about the opposition?
Not really. I haven't really heard of them before this year, if I was to be honest. But I think going into the game, I think if we play exactly how we did on Friday night, we should get rewarded again and, win, hopefully.
Yeah. Now, what about your own performance? So you tell me off air you're a fullback. That's your preferred position. But on Friday, you played in 4 different positions. Tell us more.
Yeah, so I started off in right back. And then I kind of moved in the midfield area, and then last 5 minutes I went up top striker.
Mm-hmm.
I was all around the park on Friday night, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Now that you got a bit of a sniff for goals late in the game, are you looking at pushing up a little bit more or playing a little bit more offensively? What's Coach Tom Pondelyak told you? What instructions did he give you towards the end of that game?
Well, you basically just said go up front, so I did. I went up front against a friendly in Dandenong the week before, so I definitely had a bit more confidence going in that position because obviously I'm not really familiar with it. But I think, scoring really gave me the confidence to just keep going and, wanting to go up front a bit more if the chance comes about.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, Maya, you're 17 years of age. You've been at Dinamo all your life. Now, just prior to this interview, Rob Chorlina passed on a photo to John Bilosh, who passed it on to me. And we'll bring this photo up. Tell us more about this photo. We're going to show it up on screen. There we go. Now, you're the one on the far right-hand side, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, who are the other kiddies in that photo?
So on the left is my cousin Max, and then auntie. So we all play in Mali Plavi together, and kind of throughout the years up until I want to say under 9s, I was with the boys. So I don't remember how old I exactly was when that photo was taken, but Yeah, there you go. There's a photo. Didn't even know
There you go. How good is that? And Max, obviously, he's in the under 23s. The other boys, they're still playing. Are they still at the club involved in as players?
Yeah, like you said, Max is in the 23s, doing really well, and Ante plays for Vukovar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're still around. They always come to Dinamo, so it's good. It's nice to see.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you've risen up the ranks from the Marley Plavi all the way through the juniors. You're now in the seniors, and you're a round one player of the week. So congratulations, Maya. And we look forward to having you on the show maybe later on in the year when you win the Player of the Week award again.
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see how we go.
Good on you. All the very best for Sunday's big game in Geelong against Geelong Rangers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. That was Maya Parnich, the winner of the round one winner of the Senior Women's Player of the Week. We'll be back.
Westar Prestige is a family-owned second-generation business which is celebrating 50 years of operations this year. They're a specialist prestige collision repair facility situated in the western suburbs of Melbourne, Victoria. However, they service all regions in the state, with many of their clients travelling from far and wide to use their services. They're also able to provide a digital platform for quoting clients' vehicles who are unable to personally attend their premises. They're an authorised manufacturer-approved repair facilities for Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, Peugeot and Suzuki, and are proud of their ongoing affiliation with these brands. They also work closely with a number of Australia's largest insurance brands who entrust them to be part of their preferred repairer network. Their support staff are always happy to assist clients from the initial process of lodging claims through to the final stages of collection of the vehicle on completion of repairs and post-repair. So remember, for all your prestige collision repair needs, consider Westar Prestige, an award-winning, long-standing Australian-owned business.
Well, on DinamoTV, we've had some great guests, some very special guests in our short history, but certainly they don't come any bigger, any greater than tonight's guest, and it's an absolute privilege to have on the show tonight, in front of the very, very famous Vukovar bar here at Churchill Reserve, one of the founders, one of the co-founders. And if it wasn't for our guest tonight, and if it wasn't for his house, way back almost, 49 years ago, everything we see around us here at Churchill Reserve probably would not have existed. Because as they say, from all football clubs, particularly the ones around Melbourne, they all start from humble beginnings. So it's an absolute pleasure to welcome to DinamoTV one of the co-founders, Jozo Jovic. Good evening, Jozo. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good. Thank you for opportunity to tell few people how Dinamo started and where is Dinamo today.
Why don't we start from the very, very start and how the idea of a soccer club was born. So what year was it?
Well, it actually started back in 1975. You know how Father Kasic from Clifton Hill had his picnics?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a picnic up in Whittlesea. And we play, the small soccer on the small goals and all that. And they were all my friends there, and they were all playing all over Victoria in all different clubs. And my idea was, why don't we play all together and form a new club?
So what did Melbourne have at the time? Melbourne, Croatia?
That's about
that was the only club?
And I think Split started it a year earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But, Split was on the other side of town, so we were all living around St. Albans, Footscray and all that area. So we called a meeting at my house in 13 Swansea Parade in St. Albans the following Sunday. There was 10 or 12 of us.
Can you remember some of the names?
Yes, of course I can. It was me, Marko Dorinko, Mate Dorinko, there was Tomo Njegac, Nikola Gršković, Ivan i Željko Marić, Jozo, Jorgo Krajina, my brother Ivan, and I just can't.
Oh, you've got a very good memory. I can't remember sometimes what happens yesterday.
We're still all good friends today.
So you had the meeting at your house.
Yeah.
And what happened then?
We put $50 each towards the new club.
Gosh, that was big money back then, wasn't it?
That was nearly a week's wage.
Wow.
And we sort of start training at Errington, a football ground, Errington Reserve up in St. Albans, Mine Road East, once a week. But we had no ground. So we approached St. Albans High School on the same street, and I let us use their facilities. And we played in St. Albans High School the first year in the 4th Industrial Division, where we get promoted. The following year, we moved to Maidstone, Churchill Reserve, where we play for 3 or 4 seasons. And every year we get promoted to the 1st Division of Industrial League. But you could not go any further from the 1st Division. And also we had a player, he's late, he died, Tony Jobin, and he had some relatives running St. Albans Saints, I think it was called just St. Albans Soccer Club, but they were going badly. They were going from 1st Division into the 4th Division. They had finance problem and all that. So we come in and had a chat with them, and I agreed to join forces. So we come over here. There was a big bungalow in the middle of the car park there. There was no club rooms like we got now.
No change rooms, no lights, no nothing.
The change rooms were there, but they were used by Kilo City, the team that's Altona Guide now, but they moved the following year. And then we got all the facilities here. But it wasn't easy. When we get here, we bring the players, we bring about 35,000. You could buy any 2 houses on Fox Street at the time. But they saw the opportunity, but they still want to be in charge. It took us nearly 2 years to take full of control, that become a Croatian club. They were sort of Croatian people as well, but of Volksdeutsch, German background, but they were from Croatia. And then they gave up, and we took full control, and it was all up from then on. We rise from the 4th Division up to the Premier League, where we are at the moment now.
So that was about 1979, 1980. Yeah. Well, 1980 was a big time for Croatians in the diaspora. It's a time of celebration because Tito finally died. And that had a big positive impact on the Croatian communities around the world. But in our case, for St. Albans Dinamo, that's, I guess, when things really started to get bigger and bigger, and Dinamo started to become a really big club in the western suburbs.
Yes, that's correct. Dinamo was a force in late 80s, early 90s in Victorian soccer. We had many great coaches, including Billy Wojtek, Tony Vržina, Branko Čulina, that we bought from Blacktown from Sydney. There was a record in Victoria. We paid $19,000. That was a record transfer fee in Victoria. And also we had many great players. Kuprešak, Božić, Ereš, that passed recently, I heard, back in Imotski.
Yep.
Macan, he came here, he stayed only a couple of months. He went to Malaga in Spain from us. Đuzel, Branko Čulina, Kovačević, Kelić, brothers Pondeljak, and many more.
Now, I need to correct you, Jozo. Pokojni Jure Ereš Dari Metković.
What
Yeah,
did
yeah.
I say?
Yeah, Imotski, yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Now, our president, Ilya Dragicevic, whose parents come from the Neretva region,
Yeah.
and mine do too, he'll probably get angry and give us all the sack. So, just for Ilya's sake, yeah. Yeah, really sad times to
Yeah.
hear that. But that just tells you some of the greats that came through the club. And you mentioned some of the coaches that were at the club. What about some of the presidents and some of the past administrators?
Yes, of course. Past presidents, Gospodin Miro Hedges, like Jozo Juzel, that went to Melbourne Knights and rebuilt that club. And one of the longest was Joža Jurgec. He's still around, but he doesn't come very often here. Ivica Dolic, I think he sort of rebuilt this all with his sponsor of, I think his name was Todd. He had the containers in
Stephen
Tottenham.
Toth, yep,
Yeah.
that's right. And his son Christian is still involved in the club at
Is
a
he?
committee level, yep.
Yeah, and also there was a lot of great people. Krešo Čolina, Miki's dad, Jozo Dragovic, Stipe Knez, and many more lovely people that left everything for Dinamo with no rewards.
Yeah.
You know, we were all volunteers.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure we've missed some, so we haven't certainly, if we started now naming absolutely everyone,
you always
I think
forget.
we might be here until 2025. Speaking of 2025, that's our 50th anniversary.
Yes.
So it's going to be, hopefully, a big celebration. But in the meantime, what to you, when you started, when you helped form the club and 10 other guys at your house, did you ever dream the club would be this big or grow to be this big?
Never. Like there was a lot of not support against. Like Melbourne Knights were thinking that we were there to sort of challenge them, but there was no intention at all. It was all mainly that all the friends played together, but when the opportunity came to take over St Albans, we grabbed that with both hands, and somehow it went up and up.
Well, what for you, Jozo, was the moment when the club really took off? Was it back in the late 70s, early 80s when the club took over the then St Albans, or was it when we maybe got one of our first big name coaches, or was it a president that did it? What moment in history do you think was the turning point?
Jozo Juzel made a big difference. I was a team manager for 6 or 7 years, and he gave me all the support, and we always wanted a good players. As you see, the names I read before, they went all to a bigger clubs. Kelic went to Hellas, went to Sydney, Juzel, Kuprešak went to Sydney. That was our biggest player that we transferred to Sydney. I think Sydney paid about $12,000. And as you've seen, you know, Branko, I think everybody in Victoria knew who Branko was.
Yep.
And Tony Virgina, he coached all the clubs.
Now, I saw a statistic the other day. Branko Čulina is still one of the most successful coaches in the National League, either the NSL or the A-League. I think he's something like 4th or 5th in the number of games he's coached and the number of games he's won. So, and that pretty much started off here. And of course, his son Jason went on to play for the Socceroos and was such a big focal point. So there's been a lot of stars that have come from St Albans Dinamo, huh?
Yes, in my time of being a team manager, you know, I know I'm about 7 or 8 players, but there was many more. Morovic, Krajacic, you know, Grgicis. You know, there was like any team that used to come at Churchill Reserve, you know, it was a fear. You know, we didn't win many games. I always criticized Tony. He was always on the defensive side. One season, I think we played 11 or 12 draws, and you cannot win the league with so many draws, not wins, you know. But, you know, it was like 1990, the grand final of the Croatian Cup. We beat Melbourne Knights here with Melbourne, all the stars. They had Mart, Biškić, Milosevic, or whatever his name is, Branko.
Some great names from
you know,
those
and we
years,
beat
yeah.
them here with 2-1, and the ground was packed. I reckon it was 8 to 10,000 people then.
Can that many people stay fit here?
Yeah, and then
That's
we had a
incredible.
great gala night in Sunshine. I think, if I remember, the Nenad Vetma was performing, and you know, the club is much bigger than what I thought is gonna
Be
happen.
back then. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, these days, you walk around Dinamo and you see a lot of young people, a lot of second generation, kind of my generation, and then a lot of the third generation, their kids, so your grandkids type of thing, you know. At what point was there that, as we say in Croatian, smjena generacija, the change of generations? When did the second generation, the Australian Croatians born here in Australia, when did they sort of start to take over and the first generation start to sort of let go and say, time for the new generation to take over?
Well, I left, I think it was 96 or 97. And after that, you could see, like when I was a team manager, you know, you do your team sheets on a team sheet, you know, manually.
Yeah.
Where now, you know, all these young people, it's all computers,
Yes.
you know. And after that, and I'm really, really happy, and I congratulate the committee with all young people around. And we stay back. If they need support, we support them. I'm here all the time. Sometimes I'm a bit more vocal, critical than I should be, but it hurts me. You know, when Dinamo like today, last week, when they lost, I nearly cried.
Yeah.
It's me. You know, I love the club, and I will love it, you know, until I die.
Yeah.
And I even mentioned to my wife, if Dinamo plays when I'm dead, make sure she brings the dead body here in the car park, that everybody can say goodbye to me.
Yeah. We'll look, we joke and we laugh about these things, but they're quite serious, because at the end of the day, particularly for a lot of people living around this area, you know, they'd work hard during the week in factories or construction sites, and come the weekend, this is where they started living. And I've heard this story from many, many people at many clubs, and not just Croatian clubs, a lot of other clubs as well. But let's talk about our own clubs. This is where you came alive as a person, as a human, as a member of the Australian community, where you weren't called a wog, or you weren't called a foreigner or a stranger. You felt at home. One of the things that has been really amazing about a lot of our Croatian community clubs around Australia is how we've opened the doors, and we've opened the doors to other nationalities and other people as well. And Dinamo's a really welcoming club in that side, in that sense. Must make you really proud to see the way the club's grown in every way, not just the football side of things.
Of course, I'm very proud, and I always talk about Dinamo, and I always say, Dinamo is not the best club in Australia, it's the best in the whole world. You know, the people, the friends that I have here, you know, they so welcoming. You know, it's something that you cannot get in the other clubs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we charge minimum, like it's a new generation now, but these people understand, you know, our culture and everything. And, you know, you come here, even opposition teams, they all say how well run is St. Albans Saints.
Yeah. We're at Churchill Reserve in front of the famous Vukovar bar here at the Dinamo Club Rooms, and we're speaking with one of the co-founders of Dinamo, Jozo Jovic. And in this year, when it's a huge year for the club, we're calling for volunteers because we are hosting the Australian-Croatian soccer tournament later in October. And to speak more about some of the past Croatian soccer tournaments, we're going to ask Jozo. Jozo, Back in the days, I guess the 80s and maybe the 90s, when the National Soccer League was at its peak, Sydney, Croatia, Melbourne, Croatia, they had their commitments with the NSL, and they often didn't send strong teams to the tournaments. But it was clubs like Dinamo and some of the other Croatian clubs in interstate that really kept the Croatian soccer tournament not just going, but flourishing. We've held, how many times have we held a tournament?
Now, Dinamo, I think you held the tournament twice.
St.
In
Albans, Dinamo,
1990 and I can't remember the other year.
Okay. But how some of those years that you remember, what were some of the most memorable moments held? What were some of the funny stories or some of the interesting stories? And what were some of the things that stood out in your
Dinamo
memory?
used to live for the tournaments. And we always send the strongest team every tournament. But for me, favorite one was when we beat Melbourne Knights here in 1990, 2-1. And the second one was in Adelaide. Tony Virginia was the coach, I was the team manager, and he told the players, make sure everybody's out into rooms by 2 a.m. The players start turning up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And Tony didn't even want to be in the change room. So me and Miro Hedges went in the rooms and I made the team. And by halftime, Dinamo was beating Adelaide 4-0. Then Tony turns up and he was really, really happy. And I told him, see, it doesn't matter, you know, how many hours you sleep. It's the heart. But then, you know, like Dinamo had out of, say, 20 players, probably 15 Croatians, you know, and there were imports from Croatia and local talents. And I think we were really, really strong and good team. And that's it.
Let's compare some of the old days and now, like just soccer in general here in Australia. Nowadays we don't have the NSL, we've got the A-League. We don't have as many Croatian players in the Socceroos. In fact, I think last count we had not one. What's happened from our point of view? Have we lost that motivation? Have we lost that desire? All the Croatian clubs, Dandenong City, Melbourne Knights, Dinamo, North Geelong, even Strathmore here in Victoria, there aren't as many Croatian kids playing in the first team. What, in your eyes, has led to that?
I believe, that's my strong belief, that the juniors are like when I was in the committee and coaching the kids and all that, all our juniors were on top of the leagues. You know, they just all want to play football, soccer, you know. Where now, even when I come to Dinamo, okay, like we said, we welcome all the nationality and all that, but there's still a lot of Croatian kids, but in my personal view is I think the kids start playing soccer, football much, much too early. Like they start 5, 6 years old, Mali, Plavi, whatever. And by the time of when they turn 12, 13, they're sick of football.
Yeah. Maybe they're sick of their parents.
Yeah. Some of the parents are not nice to the kids and all that, but everybody wants to win. But I believe the kids starting too early. And, you know, like 16, 17, even like Dinamo got, that's my personal view, we got team under 18. I believe there shouldn't be a team under 18.
Okay.
If you are 17, 18 years old, Branko played for Melbourne Knights when he was 16. You know, if you're 17, 18, you're a good player, you should be at least playing for the reserves or under 23, or even knocking on the door for the first team.
Yeah.
I think that's. I think we're losing the time with under 18s. That's my personal. You know, I've been many times wrong. You know, I might be wrong again. But
look at some of the greats. I guess Viduka by 17, he'd conquered everything there
Yes.
was to win in Australian football. And even now, that Irukunda, or whatever his name is, Irukunda,
he's killing it.
Who, by the way, started off at Adelaide Croatia Raiders.
Yes.
And he's now, 17, 18, and he's at Adelaide United, ready to go overseas.
Scoring goals.
There might be something in what you say, yours. Or now we did promise we weren't going to talk about the present team. We'll allow that,
But we can talk.
But I wanted to just say one of the problems, it seems, of the senior team is that they aren't able to score goals. But if we take our sort of a step back into history, one year you scored 48 goals for Dinamo, and the next year 60.
66.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe there might be some room in the senior team for yours or Jovic. What do you reckon? Would you pull on the boots again?
No, I can't hardly walk. No, that was good time, and the future is for the young people, but you said we're not going to talk much about the first team, but we can talk. I believe the team is good and all that, but the results doesn't come our way. Some games they don't play well, and
maybe the tide will turn. Let's hope that the tide turns. But all jokes aside, the future of the club, is the club, in your opinion, going the right way? And what can you see happening in maybe 5, 10, 15 years, maybe when none of us are here any longer? What can you see happening with the club? Is the club, do you think, in good hands at the moment going forward?
The club is in fantastic hands. We got all young people in the committee. They're doing the fantastic job. I never, ever criticize any committees because I've been there and I know how hard it is to run it. And all I can say is, well done, congratulations to them all. The only thing they might have to improve a little bit on their part.
That's true, and I think even the playing staff and the coaches and certainly the supporters will agree with you on that. Yozo, it's been an absolute pleasure taking a trip down memory lane, finding I guess a little bit more about how our great club was formed, and thank you to the other 10, 11 dozen or so people that were there on that day back 49 years ago. We certainly hope that the future generations can do justice to those early pioneers. And once again, thank you for joining us on DinamoTV.
Okay, again, thank you for the committee for an opportunity. And if I slip up somewhere, I apologize. But I love the club more than anything, and
thank God you didn't say that you love the club more than you love your wife, or there could have been trouble.
Actually, I did. When we going back, when we take over St. Albans, the meetings were going up to 6 a.m. And she was not happy about it. And she said, yours or Dinamo me? I said, sorry, Maria, but I love Dinamo. But she stuck by me, and she, helped around the club as well. And now my kids, 2 sons and grandkids, they come here every game. And that's it. I love you all.
Thank you very much, Jozo Jovic, one of the co-founders of the St. Albans Dinamo Football Club. We'll be back, folks, very, very shortly after this short break. And there you have it, folks. That was the first installment of our grouping new series, Dinamo's Living Legends. Jozo Jovic, one of the co-founders, and personally, I absolutely enjoyed having a chat there with Jozo. As much as we chatted on camera, we also chatted off camera. And, in a couple of weeks, maybe in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we will have our next living legend. Who would you like that to be? Pop it in the comments section. Suggest maybe through our email address, Facebook, private message our Facebook page. Who would you like to be interviewed as part of our St. Albans Dinamo Living Legends segment? That, folks, brings us to the end of tonight's program. It was a little bit of a long one, longer than usual, but obviously because of our Living Legends segment, that's the reason. Until next Thursday night, make sure to pop out this weekend and take in some football action. There will be also some Australia Cup action happening next Wednesday night at Dinamo when we take on East Bentley as well. So that'll be in time for next Thursday's show. And obviously we've got 2 away games. The men are away to Dandenong Thunder at George Andrews Reserve on Saturday. And our women travel to Geelong to take on Geelong Rangers in round 2 of the Women's State League 2 competition. That's it for me, folks. Good night, and thank you for being a part of DinamoTV. My name is Tonchi Prusak, and we'll see you next Thursday.